Hey there, welcome to the Breakfast Club. That is a difficult question, but let's try to go into it, right? I don't think there's any ideology or philosophy that we can't re-examine, or shouldn't re-examine. I think there is room for reasonable assumptions about things. Not a Boolean black and white kind of thing, but reasonable assumption. Like heliocentrism, that the Earth is a sphere, or that the sun is hot, or that rape is a terrible thing, or that cold-blooded, premeditated murder over the wrong box of chocolates is a negative thing, that we're all human beings, that we all work with our emotions and around our emotions, and we work with them differently from one another. So, okay, heliocentrism. Well, there's no doubt about heliocentrism. I can't imagine how someone could stretch that. I suppose maybe there's some planet that's way out there in the universe to places that we can't really detect right now, as of right now, that could be proven to center its orbit or something like that around the Earth's orbit, or something like that. But that's still not quite the same thing. But someone could stretch it to mean that, right? As far as the Earth being a sphere, well, someone could say, well, and they'd be right about it, well, the Earth is really a squished sphere. It's not really a true sphere. Okay. As far as the sun being hot, someone could ask the question, well, hot as compared to what? And then, questions and answers could go from there. As far as rape being a terrible thing, well, a group of people and an individual who has never met those people in person, or even know what they look like, could have set up a rape scene online to take place in a certain place, and it was consensual and even in writing that it was very wanted by all of the individuals, but it was a scene that got completely played out in a great acting performance for someone who paid a lot of money for it. Now, whether that's bad is pretty subjective. It's something the person paid to have done. You could argue, well, is that really rape then? And that'd be a reasonable question. But just not knowing who the person is who's doing the raping could be enough to the person receiving it that it still seemed like rape. When it comes to murder, some people might think that if Melania Trump poisoned Donald over the wrong box of chocolates, and she could take an insanity plea, a temporary insanity plea, that she just couldn't take the attention, the negative attention anymore, and had a mental break. Those sorts of reasons. And people could say, see, that was a good thing. Some people could, say something like that, right? With the statement, we're all human beings, someone might be able to prove that people, for whatever reason, are less like this animal over here, but this group over here is more like this animal over here. There could be some weird thing like that could be proven. Someone could stretch trying to be against that to ridiculous levels in order to, say that that's not true. As far as emotions, someone could have set up having a Spock kind of mindset, a Spock sort of mentality, where you don't work with your emotions. And when it comes to everyone dealing with their emotions quite differently from each other, and there being almost limitless ways that people can deal with their emotions, we could find out that there's only a very limited set of ways that people deal with their emotions. Political parties should most definitely be questioned and examined. Movements of all types, religions and philosophies of all types should be questioned and examined. There could be that one lone person who was laughed at 600 years ago who said something that ended up being very true, and something important. There could be some kid with some really radical notion that we just are like, what the heck? Who just happened to be right. Now, as you said, the people wanting to re-examine some ideas should expect some harsh criticism, because people might have dealt with this over and over and over again. if it's something that seems really absurd to bring up at all. So for the most part, I pretty much agree with you. I don't know if I really added much to this discussion. Anyway, good question, and it makes someone think in order to answer it. So that's a good thing.